So, as many people probably know, Walt Disney didn't actually start by creating theme parks. The Walt Disney Company was actually an animation studio to begin with, focusing in film and movies. And another fun fact about Main Street is that this is actually replicated as soon as you walk into the parks nowadays. So, Main Street is actually meant to replicate as if you are walking into a movie theatre, which is such an interesting concept. And when you think about it and start unpicking it, it makes so much sense. But I've just never really thought about it without hearing about it first. It's crazy. Obviously, as you walk in Magic Kingdom in Florida, I can't vouch for the other parks because I've not actually been to any others, but you do walk through like a tunnel first, which goes under the train station, and there are posters all on the walls that do sometimes show movies, but are usually showing like posters of the rides that are in the park. So these are meant to like mimic the posters that you see at a movie theatre, kind of showing you what's coming up as you walk through, which is crazy to think about. I know I keep saying crazy, but it is like when it all pieces together, it makes so much sense. Obviously, you then walk through and you can instantly smell popcorn and sweet treats, which again just makes you feel like you're in this dream world. All the buildings are forced perspective as well, which means that the first floor is normal size. Obviously, you can walk all in the stores down Main Street and nothing seems squished or contained. They're all normal size stores, if not a little bit bigger. But then when you go up to the second level of the store, no one can go upstairs in Main Street. It's almost just like a fake level. I don't even know if you can get inside Main Street stores on the second level, but basically they are half the height of the first floor. So, and then if there's a third floor as well, it is half the height of the second floor. So as you go up, the buildings actually do get smaller, but because it's all done in moderation to each other, it makes them look taller than they are, if that makes sense. And this is something that is done in movies all the time because obviously you want to try and get everything in shot and kind of set the scene, but you don't want stuff to be towering over you, and sometimes you can't always get that in the camera. So this is a movie trick that is usually used. I don't know if it's used so much to this day, but definitely in the past it was used very regularly when they were doing their own set building and didn't have CGI and all of that. And this is also used down Main Street. So again, it does kind of pop you in that movie setting, and obviously everything's very beautiful and clean, almost like you're not in the real world, which obviously you're not, you're in Disney World. All the employees across all the Disney parks as well are called cast members. They're not called workers or employees or anything like that. They're called cast members, which again literally means people that work in a movie or on a movie set or in theatre or something like that. And then finally, obviously the windows do tie into this as well. They are meant to work as the credits when you leave the park. Obviously you can still see them when you're walking in, but you're more taking in the ambience of the stores and the castle in front of you. But then when you're walking back, Walt Disney's vision was to make the windows more apparent. Obviously there's not as much to look at the end apart from the tunnels that you'll be exiting out of, so you're more open to looking around and seeing what else is around you. And this is when the windows tie in, and they are meant to replicate the credits as you are leaving, like at the end of a film, when all the credits come up at the end for everyone who helped on the project, made the film a reality. And this is meant to be mimicked in the windows, which I think is such a great idea. I honestly would have loved to be a fly on the wall when they were sat around their meeting table and thinking about that and kind of just piecing things together. I know I've just picked out a few bits here, but I'm sure you can keep diving into it and picking it apart and realize more things that the Disney park, and specifically down Main Street of the parks, that make it seem like you're in a movie and have just stepped into it almost.